Well, hello, STEM to Roots. This is your host, Mike Demba. This is where we plan on talking our way into a plan. You guys know how we do this. First of all, thank you for riding with me. But this morning's topic is about something that is very relevant to each and every one of us out here in the diaspora, away from home, because it involves money, it involves relationships, it involves just, some of the things that we call progress and success once we leave our continent, right? So because of that, this is something that has been spoken about around me for so long that it stood out when I had Sharif on STR, the episode 15, and this upcoming drop this Sunday, which will be episode 17. Sharif is from Nigeria, and this upcoming drop is with Nana. Very exciting conversation, Nana from Ghana. And this topic is about us here in the diaspora having projects back home, whether you're building something, whether you're a part of something, whether you're developing something, just anything that involves a project back home that is run on you being the financer of the projects, like sending money back home, to get whatever that project is going, right? Whether it's land that you're buying, building a house, renovating your home, your parents' home, whatever it is, right? And a lot of people have gone through the horror story of sending money and not seeing the worth, of that money. Sending money back home, and they end up being duped. They end up, being used and stolen from and all that stuff. We've all heard stories like that, whether we've experienced it firsthand a little bit or from somebody else. So something that Sharif said that I thought about a lot. And then when I was talking to Nana also repeated something similar, just in different words. I thought I should share, and have us think about this the next time we're thinking about a project back home. Something very relevant they talked about is the fact that we have to treat the person that we're working with back home fairly. We have to treat them fairly, with respect, okay? These are projects that need a hand, a brain, a mind back home. Somebody who will run the errands, somebody who will manage the project. Why? Because we can't be in two places at the same time, right? Most of these projects are long term. They go longer than a week. So they go for months and years sometimes, meaning you have to be here to work hard and then send the money back home. You can't just go home and be home for 6 months running a project. At least most of us can't, right? So if it requires another human being, how to treat those people becomes important to you actually seeing the fruits of your labor, right? So what do they mean by this? So Sharif said something that stood out. He said, Mikey, imagine you running a project here in the US, whether it's at work or even at home, whether it's a DIY, like you're just, remodeling your kitchen, or, just doing some work in your bathroom. It requires time management. It requires, a skill set. It requires work. This is work, right? And then if you give that job, that task, that role to somebody at home, and then they're putting in all that work, they're supervising, they're making sure everything is working right, they're hiring, they're managing, and then you don't compensate them, right? You don't give them enough money to be worth their while. All that time is not accounted for as far as their finances go. Then you're setting yourself up for failure, because you're risking something that you have control over, at least to a certain degree, where if the person is working for you, right? If the person is managing it and you're not paying them enough, you're not giving them enough money to not steal from you, you're a part of that. I mean, first of all, let's put this clear, right? There's no excuse ever for somebody stealing from you. No excuse, right? Somebody should not steal from you, period, right? But if you're managing risk, it's only fair that you do everything you can under your power to make sure your part is done. And if you do your part, if you do everything you're supposed to do, and somebody still steals from you, well, that's just, I mean, it's horrible, and I feel bad for you. But at least you will know, you know what? This is not on me. This is on them. And so what Sharif and Nana talked about that I actually want to emphasize is the fact that, once we start managing projects over here, we should think about those things, right? In addition to that, we should figure out ways to partner. This is something that episode 15 you will hear. To partner up with a project that's already ongoing, that's already making money, right? And you just invest in it so that you'll gain from it. That's one. Two, have somebody, checks and balances, right? Have somebody at home who is supervising this person that you're working with, right? Or in this case, I know somebody that has a friend, a very, very trusted person. In this case, it's a priest. In your case, it doesn't need to be a priest. It can be anybody you trust that manages his inflow of money, where money is collected and picked up from a specific location, from somebody. So there's somebody who takes care of the money, who gives the money that is needed, and who gets the reports back about how the money is spent, and somebody who does the job. So separating those two duties of having all the money managed by them and the project managed by them, separating those two duties also help. So there's different tricks in play that you can do that will minimize the amount of risk in running a project back home, because these are things we can't avoid. We have to run these projects back home. You want to build something, you want to get something going, and you can't be in two places at the same time. So you have to think about ways you can minimize the risk, of being used or taking advantage of you or stealing from you. All right. To sum it up, one is be fair. Pay them enough, for them to not steal from you. Right. Don't use their labor for free. Don't ask for a favor, and then when they take a little bit from the money you're sending, then you cry. Two, find a way, to invest in something that's already working, that already has everything that is required as far as you getting a return back in your investment. Three, separate these duties. All right, checks and balances. Separate the duties, like somebody controlling money and somebody who is running the project. And reports coming back and forth from you, right? Like stuff like that. So think about these things. Don't run away 100% from getting a project done at home, because home is where we should invest. All right. So thank you for hanging out with me. Today I'm working from home. That's why I dropped off the kid and I'm at home already. We'll do this again next week. I can't wait to talk to you guys. Today's topic is about money. It's about trust. It's about all of those things that are relevant to why we live here. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you. I mean it this time. Bye-bye for now.